So we're comparing the D500 to the A6500. We're going to shoot some of the guys on BMW motorcycles and see which one has better autofocus and better stills capture. We're also probably going to test out some of the weather sealing because it's drizzling pretty good. Okay, we had these guys running across the tires here. I was shooting with the A6500. Taylor shooting with the D500. We swapped back and forth. Kind of think the D500 is better. Looks like we're gonna get somebody across this teeter-totter now, so.
I mean, this I feel like it's boom. Put it to your eye and blah, blah, blah. You're ready to go. It's not like, right. oh.
Agreed. I like the crap.
The 6500 does like turn on the viewfinder pretty quick, but it's still like, you know, it's that half-second delay. Pretty sweet. I like it. It's quick and dirty. Oh, I can't focus this close. Oh.
10 frames a second here.
I think I got 11. This is one of the sweetest Nikon bodies ever made. Maybe the D5 is slightly sweeter, but I do appreciate the smaller, amazing package. I think the only complaint is the 4K video crops it down to pretty much micro 4/3 size. You're pretty much looking at a 2x crop overall. It's still pretty good quality, but you're losing even more ISO and light performance and depth of field. It's hard to get, you're not really gonna get much cinematic looking video out of it. It's more video-y looking video, which can make it easier. The video AF is typical crappy contrast detect, doesn't work for shit. If you're trying to fly it on a gimbal or anything like that, it's pretty much a manual focus video camera. But for shooting fast moving crap, the AF and responsiveness cannot be beat. I don't think, until maybe the Sony A9 comes out, and then we'll see what that does. Right. Hoping for more drama.
Yeah, like the full throttle.
Try and fall off this time.
I was like, oh,
Hans did, as they say.
So I don't crash. I just prefer this. This to me feels more like a mechanical tool than a electronic toy, even though I mean it is an electronic toy. It feels to be more just like.
It's actually weather sealed, not weather resistant.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, I'm not really worried about the slight drizzle today affecting it at all.
The other thing I like about that camera is when it's in continuous high, you can still fire single shots. With this thing, the button doesn't have enough tactile feel to it.
Can't squeeze off one round.
Yeah, you're squeezing off three or so. I don't know. We'll see what the hit rate is when we get back to the computer.
Yeah, just looking through the back, I feel like my hit rate is 100%.
Okay, we're back at the office. We've got everything loaded into Lightroom. Let's look at some photos. Switch over to the develop module here. So this is the A6500. We're at ISO 800, about 75 millimeters, 1/400th of a second, f9. So we go through these. That one's a little out of focus. A little out of focus. There it grabbed good focus. Here's another one. I don't know what it decided to focus on here. That one looks pretty good. Acceptable. Maybe it's the sharpness of the lens. Who knows? Let's scroll down and find some D500 shots. So here's D500 shot, ISO 400, 2,000th of a second, f4, 98mm equivalent. That looks like it's in perfect focus. That one's in focus. Looking good. Looking good. That one may be iffy. Yeah, those are all in focus. This one's not framed very well, but it is in focus. Let's get to some of the mud puddle shots. Scroll back up here. Let me just go with the ones I've flagged for upload. Here we go, 64 photos. That's more like it. So here's the A6500 again. That looks pretty good. This guy's not moving too fast. This guy was moving pretty fast, but seems to be in focus. Here's another A6500 shot. Seems pretty sharp there in the middle. Not really anything good to focus on there, but seems all pretty sharp. Here's another Nikon shot. That's all in focus at f4. A6500 shot. Here's another A6500 shot. Seems like their faces are in focus. There's a lot going on here, a lot for the camera to pick out. Here's another A6500 shot. Sorry, I'm trying to take off all the corrections so we can see what it actually looks like. And back to the D500. I guess it focused on this headlight. Looks a little soft. It's pretty horribly backlit. Here's another good in focus D500 shot. D500 again. Who knows what it picked as the focus point, but it got pretty much everything in focus at f4, ISO 200. Let's see what else we got. Backlit D500 shot in perfect focus. Another shot. That one's in focus. That one's in focus. That's good. I guess the motion sort of stopped, so of course it's all going to be in focus there. A little bit out of focus there on the face. Front of the bike is in focus. Here's the A6500 again, acting a little bit soft. Oh, there it goes, that's sharp. Didn't really have much to choose from for a focus point there. This looks pretty good. That one from the A6500 looks pretty good. Another A6500 shot. Let's see what it decided to focus on. Looks pretty good. Anyway, I think in summary, both cameras are certainly usable. I think if I was going to do this all day, I would choose the D500 over the A6500. Got better battery life. Seems to be almost 100% of the shots I've looked at from the D500 are in focus or close to usable focus. The A6500 is seemed to miss a couple of times. Not often, and maybe not where it mattered, but it did miss. It would have been interesting to have had the 70-200 for the Sony instead of the 24-240. I think maybe that was handicapping it a little bit. Next time we do this, we'll get a 70-200 f4 or f2.8 and put it on the A6500 and see what happens. I guess the point is I didn't see any horribly out of focus shots from either camera. They're all nailing it pretty much every time. And they're all nailing the subject, even with a pretty loose background. Both autofocus systems are determining what the subject is and grabbing focus on that instead of, oh hey look, I focused on the background, which is easy to do. Here is an out of focus D500 shot. Followed by another out of focus D500 shot. Then it finally acquires focus. So in this string, 1 second string of 10 images, it looks like it didn't grab focus for 2 of them. Terribly backlit and whatever. It looks like the subsequent photos are all in good focus, but it seems like both cameras are tracking very well. I wouldn't say if you have an entire Sony system that you should swap out for the D500, but if you do have a Nikon system and Nikon lenses, I would say the D500 is worth it for sports over, say, the D810 or, you know, D650, D750, any of the like more consumer-oriented bodies. I would say step up to the D500 for sports. You know, we've got the Sony A9 coming out that's going to be way better at doing this kind of stuff, but I think the A6500 definitely holds its own and can be used for professional sports photography in a pinch. We just have to get decent lenses for it, and I think that'll solve a lot of problems. Anyway, those are our thoughts on the A6500 versus the D500. I'd pick the D500 if I was starting from scratch. Since I already have a bunch of Sony lenses, I'm going to stick with the A6500. Thanks for watching. And just to make it a totally fair comparison, we got some Ektar 100 in the F100.
Well, now you've listened to my story. I'll have me another shot of booze, and if anybody here should ever ask you, I got them gamblers blues. Yes, if anybody here should ever ask you, I got them St. James Infirmary blues.